Good morning, and I am so thrilled to be here because we're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart. I had this fabulous conversation with an amazing group of people, and I want to focus on what to do when the unexpected happens. Life and business has a crazy way of throwing things our way. In fact, 365 days ago, because I keep a 365-day journal, I actually wrote the exact words that JD, my husband and business partner, told me. Quote, "It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better." He said that 365 days ago, and I told him, because I went back to my journal today, I continue to write, and I went back and I said that everything he said was true, and I didn't want to agree with it then. But if I can go back to myself 365 days ago, I would use a 4-part framework that I have now since learned and I practice again and again, because unexpected things will expectedly happen. We must expect the unexpected and embrace that it is part of life and our business journey. So I'm going to be sharing a 4-part framework with you to help you process when the unexpected happens. And I'm going to be focusing specifically from a business perspective. So number 1 of 4, acknowledge the emotion. It is absolutely okay to be disappointed, to be angry, to feel disappointed. When we acknowledge the fear, the doubt, the disappointment, everything on the in-between, acknowledge it. Because what happens was, at the time, I was stuffing down feeling nervous. I was stuffing down feeling disappointed. I was stuffing down feeling angry. But when we acknowledge the emotion, we can then give it the space that it needs. And just because a feeling is real, the feeling is real, it doesn't make it a fact. Just because you're afraid, that is a feeling. Acknowledge the feeling. But the fear of your imagined scenario isn't real. So acknowledge the emotion and then understand that it's not a fact. Number 2, deep dive in alignment. What must you do when the disappointment happens? When you focus on the big picture. So when I was at my lowest, or what I felt was at my lowest 365 days ago, and my husband said, "Hey, it's going to get worse before it gets better," I had to go back and I wish I could told myself to go back and get grounded. There is a bigger picture on the horizon, and whatever difficult decisions you need to make and whatever you are facing right now, yes, it sucks. And I'm sorry, it's very hard. And I'm sorry you don't know what to do next. But when you think of the big picture, the vision of where you picture your life, your business, your trajectory, your team, your family, when you focus on those things, you come back and say, am I willing to go on one more day? That's just the main question. Am I willing to try one more day to get to the bigger picture at the end of this? Number 3 of 4. So we're going to review. Step number 1 was to acknowledge the emotion. Step number 2 is to deep dive into alignment. Now we're at step number 3. And this one's petty. I'm just going to say this one's petty, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit it, but it's still my framework, so I'm just going to own it. Success is the best revenge. That's it. Whenever I am facing something that was unexpected, and whenever I feel those emotions, and then I get into alignment to my vision, then I buckle up and say, success is the best revenge for anybody who has ever doubted you, for anybody who has ever thrown shade at your way, for anybody who questioned why you continue to do this thing. I will go back and say, if not now, then soon. And when I reach that pinnacle, and when I reach the thing and complete the thing I set out to do, success is the best revenge. So until I'm there, I'm going to quiet my mouth, and I'm going to do the work while people sleep. And I am going to stay dedicated when other people are vacationing. And I am going to focus on the thing that I know to be true, because when I get to that point, I won't have to say anything. My results will silence their doubts. Step number 4 to accepting and acknowledging when the unexpected happens is ask myself, how can I be kind to myself in this moment? 365 days ago, I was so mean. I would tell myself, you're not doing enough. What could you have done differently? Could you have avoided this? I'm sure you could have avoided this. What were the things that, why couldn't you see this 6 months ago? Is there anything you could have done to have changed the situation? And so all I would do would be asking myself these limiting questions, things I actually couldn't answer. When I say, well, couldn't you have done things differently? I don't know. If I thought of it back then, I would have, but I kept on beating myself up instead of saying, listen, everything is teaching you a lesson. The kind thing here is to find the lesson and then improve from there. I want you, when the unexpected happens, to actually be kind to yourself and acknowledge if it was expected, you would have prepared for it. That's it. Can you trust yourself to say that if this disappointment, if this setback, if this unexpected awful thing came up, if you would have seen it months ago, could you have not acknowledged that to be the case? So the 4-part framework of what to do when the unexpected happens. Friends, step number 1 is to acknowledge the emotion, but a feeling isn't fact. Please remember that. Step number 2 is to deep dive into alignment. If you're struggling finding that purpose, if you're struggling to get back to it, it's because the vision of your future, what you actually want to do with your business, as crazy as it seems, as unlikely as it might be, going back to that vision and saying, I must choose to get back up today. Here is one thing that I am certain of. If I stop today, I'm not getting there, guaranteed. But if I get back up today, perhaps I am one step closer to where I am supposed to be. Step 3 of the framework is to understand that success is the best revenge. It's okay to get a little bit angry to prove the doubters and the naysayers wrong. And when you are there, your results will silence their doubts. Step number 4, ask yourself, how can I be kind to myself? Can you find one kind thing to hold on to and say, if you knew something was going to happen, could you have not prepared for it? But you didn't know. What lesson are you here to learn? And how can you be kind to yourself in the process? Because if you choose to get back up after throwing yourself a pity party, it's okay. We can, remember when I said acknowledge the emotions? Early in my career, it would take me a few days. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna be real. Early in my career, it would take me months to rebound from a setback, months. And this is the sign that I have known as a person and as an entrepreneur. My bounce back time, my rebound time is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And so it's okay to throw yourself a pity party, to be angry. And then you say, I'm going to be angry for 24 hours. I'm going to be angry for 24 days. Whatever that is, give yourself that time and space and then buck up, buttercup. Your time has come. You've given yourself your angry time. I'm going to sit under a gray cloud. Great. You've given yourself that time. And if you choose to sit under that gray cloud for as long as it will, the only person it is truly affecting is you. So after you sat under that gray cloud, after you've had your angry time, after you've thrown yourself a pity party of one, now it's time for you to say, what is the lesson and how am I learning from this? So whatever you happen to be facing at any given point in time, I want to say, you're not alone. I hope this 4-part framework helps you. And to always remember that the choice to get back up is only yours. It's okay to rest and it's okay to sit, but it is not okay to quit if you have a clearly defined vision of where you believe your life is truly calling you. This is your friendly reminder. I am so proud to sit here and do life and business with you on the inside of Social Curator. This community has really transformed the way I am showing up as an entrepreneur, and I hope the same for you. All right, friends, be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I am so thankful. I'm trying to end it on a high note, and I'm just mumbling my words. Friends, I am so happy you're here. I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful day. Bye, y'all.